In my office!
Sony Computer Entertainment America's favorite executive producer, Kyle Shubel, stopped by a dark and gloomy Zadzooks headquarters to play with guns and explosives in Guerrilla Games' latest first-person shooter, Killzone 3. Picking up the woeful life of Shevchenko and his adventures on the hell-gassed homeworld, this M-rated slaughter is available February 22nd exclusively for the PlayStation 3. Oh, Kyle, what's weird, wild, and new?
What we've done here is, from a single-player standpoint, give you a much more deep game, another 8 full chapters into the game, so it's going to be about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. Plus we added in a split-screen co-op, so we can finally get 2 people sitting on the couch together playing the game. And from a multiplayer standpoint, we've completely broadened the experience by pretty much refining. We almost hit the reboot on the multiplayer. We went from 32 players to 24. We went from 6 classes down to 5. We rebalanced a lot of the abilities. We made a far more in-depth character class and advancement system. You know, of unlock points, so you can choose which class you want to focus on, how deep you want the abilities to go, pretty much how far do you want to go into this experience. Some of the other things they've been able to do is, from a story standpoint, the Hellgast have advanced their technology a great bit since the first Killzone. They've been doing a lot of experimental research, so we've been able to go far more sci-fi with the game. So now you're seeing things like the jetpack we've got on the screen behind me. The walkers have advanced in ability. You also get to play with a few other toys like the hammer and the ice saw, which are 2 vehicles you get to cruise around in the game. But pretty much it's about furthering the universe, the Killzone universe, and extending the player's experience. What Killzone really brings to the first-person shooter genre is some additional diversity. We focus predominantly on realism, however now we've got a nice sci-fi bent to it. We have added support for the motion controller, so you can use a move and a nav together to be able to play the game for a more immersive experience, which is also more accessible to many users who aren't into the DualShock. You know, if you aren't used to using Move 2 analogs, pointing and shooting becomes a lot more natural. We're releasing a Sharpshooter peripheral, which is coming out shortly. That'll be out the week before Killzone 3. And that is even more natural as you get in there and the nav moves in and you're able to just sort of shoot and play. We also are one of the few first-person shooters that supports 3D. In my opinion, we have some of the best 3D on the market at the moment, and it really does extend the experience and, again, furthers the immersion into the universe. So one of the things the Guerrilla's known for is urban environments, and they've always had beautiful engines and amazing-looking games. What they really wanted to prove here was that they were capable of doing more than just urban. So as you saw in the previous level, we've got an ice level where you're going around on oil derricks. So there's different environments. We're going to take you on a guided tour around Helghan. One thing in particular is we've got this level up here, which is a Helghan jungle. So as you can see, they've got a very different look to it. If you look over there, there's a burster up there. Go ahead and take a shot at one of those. These are like omnidirectional bursting plants that and when they get hit, they explode and they throw shards out everywhere. They'll kill anything within a short radius. You've got plants that will reach out and attack you. These environments are very, very alien and foreign, and that's intentional so that you get this sensation of this is just an inhospitable place. You don't want to spend your 4th of July weekend here. That's definitely right out. So again, the Sharpshooter peripheral, which is coming out, this utilizes a PlayStation Move, which clips into the top, and a nav, which clips into the front, allowing the user to play like this. So here's your movement, and here's your looking. So as you're playing through, you can do everything directly through it. Now, why is this special over a third-party peripheral? Well, one of the nice things is it actually is directly integrated to the Move. The Move plugs into this. So therefore the trigger is actually pulling a digital trigger which activates the Move, rather than pulling a lever which is actually trying to pull the trigger inside. The buttons are all remapped to be logical. So we have the X and the triangle right here. The triangle and the square right here, and the X and the circle right here. So all 4 buttons are directly represented. These are ambidextrous, so you can play on either side. So if you play lefty or as a righty, you can. You have the trigger and the move button. It's right here. So you do all of the action directly on it. We've added in a reload button on the bottom, so as you're playing you want to reload, you can just slap on the bottom and that'll reload. Killzone in particular is also using several gestural commands. So for instance, if you were to take the weapon and just tilt it to the side, that will reload the gun in the game. So as you fire a few rounds off, tap it to the side, it'll reload or slap. If you're playing the game, you also have a melee attack. So think there's a bayonet on it, just jab forward, you're going to be able to do your melee. This just furthers the immersion into the game. Depending on how tall you are, you've also got a expandable shoulder stock, so you can get it so that it's comfortable for you. And I know for those of you out there who are a little more lazy and you're going to be sitting on the couch, you're going to sort of tuck it right down in there and have some fun with it. So again, this is just another way to further the experience and make a first-person shooter something special.
That's it for this week's episode of Zadzooks Video Game Minute. Thanks for watching and playing. I'm Joseph Zadkowski.